that's easy to use and now is Wi-Fi connected, so you can instantly post your pictures on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you want to do without having to do that middle step that you had to before, which is great. So it's got the built-in Wi-Fi plus so many other features. At retail, this camera is almost twice as much. So our price today is a great sale price for the holiday weekend, which is going away at the end of the day, of just $449.96. At retail, to buy everything you get with this camera, it would cost you $876.96. So again, our price is almost half off. And you're also getting 6 easy payments of $74.99. Also, you can get special Q card 12-month financing to make those easy pays even half as small as what you're seeing right there. Plus free shipping and handling saves you $14.72. So having said all of that, it's all about what kind of pictures can I take with this page.
Oh, it really is. I mean, bottom line, we have leaned on our cell phones for the convenience factor, but once you start printing them, it really is heartbreaking, because the perfect scenario is everyday moments where you think it's this beautiful picture on your phone. I call it the great optical illusion. Right, because it appears so beautiful on your cell phone, but everyday moments. Maybe you just want to zoom into that gorgeous flower, and it looks pretty nice there until you take
the picture with the Canon, which is this one right here. Wow.
Wow. I mean, it's absolutely staggering. It was the same time of day. There is none. I mean, there's movement, there's clarity, there's variations of color. It's a completely different story. So maybe it's that once in a lifetime moment, you know, the bride kissing her dad on her wedding day, or maybe it's everyday moments, the first day of school. You don't get those do-overs. So get it right the first time and you will never regret it. You know, the only regret I ever hear from people about the Canon is they wish they did it sooner.
And it's so easy. I know we're so used to taking so many of our pictures with our phones now, and some phones have pretty decent cameras on them, but they cannot compare to this. If you really want beautiful photographs, and I know sometimes you think, well, it's so much more complicated. I got to take a camera, I got to do all the settings. It's so easy. If you put this camera on auto mode, when you first get it till you're figuring it out, or just leave it on auto mode, it does everything perfectly for you. And then once you want to start playing around with it, you can do so many different things manually.
Yes, I love that you talk about that, because I know someone like your husband, he's more the photo enthusiast. So
now he is. But when he first got his first Canon, he learned by using it on auto.
So he did start on the auto button, right? And that's where, quite frankly, I live a lot, because I want to be immersed in the moment. But if I'm fooling around with settings and calculations, I'm going to miss it. But this green button, this is green for go. This is scene intelligent. So it knows if it's daytime, nighttime, if it's children, if it's moving subjects, dogs, animals, and it'll make the proper calculation. And what I love about it, we talk about hand holding. Canon is very good about holding your hand during this entire process. So as I turn this camera on, their signature dial that I showed you earlier, you just give a twist of the dial and we're actually going to tell you which setting you're in. And these are all pre-programmed modes built in, probably very similar to your existing point and shoot camera, but it's great. Great auto, portrait, nighttime, daytime, close-up, fast action, all built in to make your life so much easier, so you get that shot every time. You
know, my dad bought this camera last year, or one like it, and loves it so much. I mean, and you know, my parents hadn't bought a new camera probably in a decade. Because they just didn't take pictures that much anymore, because we were all gone, and whenever we got together, one of us took all the pictures and sent them to my mom. But you know, my dad has a vintage truck, and he has a beautiful landscape yard, and now he's learned to take pictures of the things that are his hobbies. And my husband, honest truth, bought a Canon camera from us a few years ago and didn't know anything about them, and now it's become a whole hobby for him.
And I hear that so often.
He's added lenses, and he's out there taking pictures all the time. He's got, you know, a little jib, which is, you know, like the overhead camera we use here on the set, and it's become a huge hobby. But it's all because once you get one of these cameras and you find out how easy it is to take the pictures, you become such an enthusiast because your pictures are beautiful.
Yes, I hear that so often from viewers. They tell us that now they start their own businesses. Maybe they become that wedding photographer. A lot of kids in high school become that sports photographer, or filmmakers, independent filmmakers. They encourage their students to invest in a Canon camera because it's so easy. Yes, and so one of my favorite things is, now that we're coming upon the holidays, it's probably more the darker times, the darker months, right?
And you know, if you're trying to take pictures with your cell phone, it's not very good at taking pictures in the dark. And you've either got a flash, which is too bright, or the picture's really dark. So you eliminate that problem with this camera.
We've taken out all that guesswork because this camera has a huge sensor, so it's like drinking buckets and buckets of light. Your cell phone is collecting little Dixie cups. And so I ask you to do something that probably feels counterintuitive. You know, most of us in a dark scenario would probably want to put on that flash, but I'm going to ask you to actually keep the flash down, and we're going to bring the lights down, and I'm just going to have you, if you don't mind, Carolyn, hold this candle. We'll take a few pictures and see how the camera does. And you know this scenario so well. It's that birthday party where you just have the flicker of the candle lights. Maybe it's that church and they've asked you to have off all that flash photography.
Look at the light in that picture.
That.
Wow.
This impresses me every single time. This camera never lets me down. And what I love is everything is clear, sharp. Your face is perfectly illuminated. You can see the background, you can see the foreground. It is a keeper. And I have this box of pictures of all these events in our life that I just can't get rid of, but they're blurry and they're dark. But I know who's around that birthday cake. I just can't see them. Now you can keep that.
So no more blowing out with a big bright flash where everything just looks you know, the wrong color and too bright. So you've got that effect. Also, it will take excellent pictures in motion. Like if you're trying to take pictures of your pets, you know, they never stand still for very long, or your grandkids are running around. It's hard to get them to sit still, or when they do, they look all posed. If you want to get live action shots, this is an excellent way to do that as well.
Oh, I love that you talk about that, because one popular feature I hear about from moms all the time, we all know there's no do-overs, but it's capturing your child's face when they're really enjoying something, or your grandchild, or maybe that special moment.
And if you tried to take that with a phone or something, it would be pretty blurry, or you'd miss. You certainly wouldn't get that quality.
Not at all. You're right. You would have them maybe jumping up, or maybe just making the land, but she is tack sharp, and that's a term you hear the pros. They really have a lot of years of training and expertise to be able to capture this. But this is sports mode. This is one of the pre-programmed modes already built in, so it's super fast. So whatever that action is, and it can be facial expressions. I'm a huge fan of using sports mode for just everyday moments, because capturing that facial expression is just as important. Or maybe it's that flip in the air. Or one of my other favorite moments is, you know, we talk about
oh my gosh,
clarity.
Look
at that. So this is Maddie taking a run down the bridge, and I love that I see her face, how joyful she is, but her hair. It's crisp, it's sharp, you still see the movement, but that's a keeper. And this is what you're going to surround your home with, and that's what's in your picture frames. It's pictures from real cameras, not your cell phones.
And you know, the pictures that, if you're my age, the pictures you have from when you were a kid, they're just, you know, probably all faded and weird colors by now, or real blurry. And you know, then you went through the Polaroid phase, and then we had the little snapshot cameras, and you know, they just, none of them were able to do what this camera can do. And by the way, once you pick up this base camera, you can add any Canon lens to it. It actually, let's talk about what it comes with. Because you're getting actually a couple of pretty extraordinary lenses with it.
We love that we've included 2 of these lenses for you, and pretty much these could be the last 2 lenses you ever use. This is your everyday workhorse. This is your 18 to 55 millimeter. And then when you want to get even closer to your subject, we've included your 75 to 300. So that means you can get closer to your subject without taking a step closer to them. We've included the bag to protect your investment. We have your strap to put on your camera to keep the camera safe and secured around your neck. Rechargeable battery, which will actually take up to 500 pictures.
Fantastic.
And video, high-def video. We have the USB cable if you want to connect to your computer and transfer your images. We've also had a 32 gigabyte card, so that's close to 4,000 pictures right there. And high definition video, so that's been a popular question, with full audio playback.
I mean, these pictures are just extraordinary, especially if you are taking pictures from a vacation, group shots. How about pictures of the new baby? You know, they don't hold still for very long at all. And again, pictures of your pets as well. I've got lots of doggies that are always on the go, and so hard to get them. You know, with a phone, I take like 20 pictures and I finally get one good one.
That's all you need, right?
So with this, every one you take is a good one.
Yes, you're hard pressed to use that delete button. I'll tell you, you're not using that very often. I have too many pictures.
And so give it a try. And if you're not camera savvy, put it in auto mode and see all the things it can do, and eventually you'll start learning all the other manual modes of this camera. You'll take amazing pictures. If you've got an event coming up, a wedding, a vacation, a reunion, you need a good camera. Don't depend on your cell phone camera for those special events. Paige, thank you so much for coming in. Stay in the ordering process for your Canon Rebel. don't forget that sale price goes away at the end of the day. All right, so here's how we started the show. Our today's special value